Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Rayz Dayz, episode 99 of the show where I recap my week. As exciting, as boring, as uneventful, as repetitive as that may be, that is what this episode is. So let's get into it. Still a little bit sore for those that remember last week. Tons of back pain. I mean, it's still like slowly better and better each day, less and less, but it's still like it's not perfect, let's say. I'm not over it, but it's still it's just a little sore. But good enough to where I had a pretty good week. I had a great week. And it's weird because the week didn't feel great because anything special happened. It actually kind of felt normal. But I just most weeks feel less than normal. Most weeks feel like a deficit. Where this one just felt like everything ran smoothly. I slept pretty good. I woke up pretty good. I got all my work done pretty on point. I got extra work done. Like I started inventorying all of my artwork, and organizing them so it's easier to find. I have, for those that don't know, over 1,700 original paintings that I have for sale over my website, inspireddisorder.com, which please go buy. And they're mildly organized. But I need to go back and go through, and I'm kind of bundling them in hundreds. Sadly, one painting was destroyed accidentally. It was at the bottom of a pile, and one of the corners was turned in, so it's all bent. Which isn't horrible. I might give it away. I might frame it and give it to somebody as a gift. But one painting out of 1,700 so far, 1,700 plus, isn't that bad. So, and it'll just be better now that they're going to get organized and stored a little bit better. It'll be less likely for things to get damaged. Also, it'll be easier for me to start doing live shows. When I do that, just having everything organized. So it's kind of a big project that I started to do on Wednesday. And, got all that stuff done. Like the beginning of my week, I watched a lot of, because the French Dispatch came out on HBO Max, which I reviewed on Monday. I also wanted to do a top 5 of Wes Anderson films. I recently watched a few of his films that I hadn't seen in a while. Like I rewatched Bottle Rocket. I watched Darjeeling Limited for the first time recently. And a couple of other of his movies. And there's still a few that I hadn't seen yet to prepare for my top 5. Specifically the Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. I had never watched the entire movie completely all the way through. Obviously, The French Dispatch, hadn't watched that yet. And there was probably, let me see, what's another one that I watched recently? Maybe that's it. Oh, Grand Budapest Hotel I hadn't watched yet. And I was excited. I enjoy the opportunity to binge a bunch of movies in a related category, whether it's all of the same director, like I did with Rian Johnson, or Paul Thomas Anderson, and now Wes Anderson, or even like actors like Whoopi Goldberg, or genres of films, or franchises. I love doing the franchises, being able to watch. It really helps recontextualize all of the movies in a franchise when you watch them in succession, one after. It's the best way, I think, to watch them, especially if it's done well, right? Like the Harry Potter's did it well, and you also get to see the changes in the franchise, like Fast and the Furious, where it's like it starts out at one thing and then you get this like switch that's flipped where it almost turns into like superhero type stuff. A lot of fun. So I enjoy it. So I was excited. So that's what I did. You know, the weekends leading up, Thursday through Sunday are kind of the only days I have stuff that's scheduled to do, right? Like I paint live on Thursday. I process all of the video and images from all the new paintings I did on Friday. Saturday I do all the preparation for this show, and then Sunday, today, as I'm recording this, I do all the production of the show and the editing of the show. Sunday is my busiest day. So like my from Thursday is not a lot, and it ramps up. So then Monday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are kind of my like, they're not off days because I'm still working on stuff, but they're like, those are my like open days to fill up with whatever I want. So being able to fill that up with like just watching a bunch of movies, like twist my arm. Although, you know, if I'm reviewing a movie, I'm taking notes. It's like I still have to pay attention. Like I can't just like casually watch stuff. And when I do casually watch stuff, like still watching ER, like I'm not going to do a review on ER. Right? Like I can miss stuff and I'm not paying attention. I'm not watching it in you know, preparation to talk about it. But if I'm watching The French Dispatch, like I'm taking a page of notes. If I'm doing like my top 5 stuff, I'm not necessarily taking notes unless it's a franchise. It's easier to help remember which movie is what happens in what movie. But I'm still paying attention because I want to know I want to have an honest, like my top 5s, I want to have an honest representation of what I feel the top 5 are. And that's not like what my memory is of these movies when I first saw them. It's like, let me rewatch them all. And plus, it helps me get in the vibe of the director. Like when I did Rob Zombie, it would be very difficult to like casually watch Rob Zombie films mixed in with other stuff. Or like the Saw franchise. Like you have to watch them to like really compare them all. You have to watch them all together. And to like get the vibe and just to see like, just to understand what to expect in all the movies. And once you get there, once you know what to expect, it's less jarring in comparison to the stuff you're normally watching. So I love it. The Many Faces is an ongoing abstract ink portrait series that I started many years ago. I release a new face every day, but go to inspireddisorder.com to check them out. So many available. But as a listener to The Ray Taylor Show, you can save 10% when you use coupon code INSPIRED when you check out. So go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF. That stands for The Many Faces. Go check them out, browse the entire collection, and when you decide on a piece, or maybe multiple pieces, make sure you use coupon code INSPIRED when you check out, and you'll save 10%. As a big thank you for checking out my work, for collecting my work, and for listening to The Ray Taylor Show. And with that said, let's get back to the show. So that was like my beginning of the week. And then it was like Wednesday, it's like I'm going to do some like start organizing my stuff, which of course ended up trashing my lower back. So I you know, definitely some pain, but I got a lot of work done. Sore the next day. Slept great though. Like it felt good, even though I was really sore at the end of the day. Like it was like that kind of productive sore where it's like, you know, you got a lot of work done. Like it felt good. It felt really good. And then also my Fitbit update on that. Talked about it last week. I noticed recording the podcast, it logs all of my hand motions as steps. So, which I like Like my numbers for last Sunday recording and what my numbers will be, like I should have taken the watch off to record because they are wildly exaggerated. Like I am Sundays, according to my watch, I am a beast physically Sunday. I am doing a marathon on Sunday with great heart rate. Like I am apparently taking all these steps while sitting down. And I'm sure my heart rate is still elevated just because I'm amped up to talk about stuff. But yeah, completely it's like the only day out of the week where I'm actually like my steps look respectable, because it's pathetic how little because I'm in my studio all day. Aside from walking my dog, that is the only time I'm outside twice a day. And because she's old, can't really, like, I feel bad taking her on longer walks, even though I'm trying to take her on longer walks. But so it's limited. Like, I don't go out shopping. I get everything. Like, everything is, because of the pandemic, everything, my lifestyle is this, which is cheap overhead cut. If only I could rent some robots to do my work for me, I wouldn't have the back pain. But yeah, the step count while podcasting is ridiculous, but it has been great for reminding me to get up. So while I'm editing and doing my stuff, or editing clips for the podcasts, I do that usually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll do a little bit here, a little bit there, editing all the clips that come out every day. Having that reminder to get up and move around has been great. And I've been doing real basic stuff, like just swinging the kettlebell like 10 times and then sitting back down, or walking around a little bit, maybe, doing some arm circles and just like kind of getting moving, getting things going. The reminders are great. It is crazy how often it goes. It's like once an hour, but it feels like 10 minutes. Because when I'm working, like, time just flies by. So it's actually kind of great to have that reminder. The sleeping stuff is great. Like, it, for whatever reason, it doesn't show, like, it's supposed to show what my sleep score was and like my O2 percentage was, which my O2, it's interesting to see how that fluctuates depending on how well I can breathe at night. But like all the stats don't always get updated. So I don't know. Like, I don't know the accuracy of that. And also, I don't know if I necessarily need to have all the features that I have for what I'm doing. I might return it. Because the step accuracy, that's whatever. The fact that it's inconsistent with some stuff. I still have, I think, like 3 weeks to decide if I want to return it. Which, if I do, I might just go with like the low end Apple Watch, which costs more, but it will sync with everything. Just within just the fact that it's another Apple product will sync perfectly with all of my devices, which is fine, which is great. It'll have apps that I would, I don't know. I'm not a big watch wearer. Like, I have like claustrophobia, right? And that relates to, or includes, like, wearing things on my wrist. Like, if they're not loose, which you can't really wear these loose, you have to kind of wear them so they're against your skin. I will get, especially when it gets hotter, or if I'm wearing clothes, like if it's really humid and clothes are like sticking to me, if I feel constricted in my clothes in any way, that triggers the same craziness that being like, that's how I'm claustrophobic. Like sleeping bags, if I can't move like freely, I will freak out. So it's like small rooms aren't as bad, but like any kind of small confinement where I can't move, I will freak out. Like, I remember times where like friends or whatever would fuck with me and then like try and wrap me up in a thing, and it just like it is like I'm being drowned. Like that's the level of like panic that takes over. And I get a little taste of that at sometimes when this feels like it's just sticking, and it's not. Like just thinking about it right now is driving me insane kind of. So I don't know. I don't really like that aspect of it, because you have to wear it all the time. And it's, I don't know, just putting focus on it right now is driving me insane. It's like driving me crazy. I kind of really want to take it off right now. So that aspect of it isn't that great, which wouldn't change at all with an Apple Watch. I mean, it would just be another device that would be on my wrist. But as far as I just have a feeling it would be more consistent. It would work more consistently. But we'll see. I'm going to probably wear it for a couple more weeks. There's still like another stat that is constantly calculating that I need to wear the watch for a little bit longer before it starts giving me this other kind of stat thing. So we'll see. It's tentative, but it might be gone. It might be gone. It's like I want the things it's doing, but I want a device that I can trust. Like I can't really. I'm losing trust in this device. The fact that it's counting my hand movements as steps disturbs me. The fact that data isn't always synced correctly disturbs me. Not necessarily that it just like data just doesn't show up sometimes, and that's not. I don't want a device that just kind of works sometimes. It's not. Yeah, it should work. So anyway, that's my update. We'll see. But I enjoy the aspects of it that are actually working and helping me, and things that I'm interested in, like the sleeping stuff. I love, and I can totally feel it. Like, I've had generally when my days get busier, my sleep gets worse. So like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, my sleep was amazing. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's like, oh, it's getting worse and worse. And I can feel it. Like just knowing how I feel in the morning, like if I see what my sleep score was, like, oh yeah, that makes complete sense. So it's interesting seeing that kind of feeling, how I feel, how refreshed I feel in the morning, represented by like a numerical amount, and then being able to dive in to see what my sleep was like. So that stuff is interesting, and is why I might go with the Apple Watch instead of this, just because functionality, I know it'll function better. But anyway, we'll see. And like I said, I did started inventorying my paintings on Wednesday, labeling them, organizing. Started watching a new Apple TV Plus show called Severance, which is crazy. It's kind of got like a Charlie Kaufman feel to it. And I don't really want to spoil it too much because it's crazy, but it's kind of like a Black Mirror. I'll probably talk about it when the season is complete. But it's kind of like a Black Mirror situation involving working and trying to separate your personal life from your work life, and taking that idea and putting it through like a Black Mirror-esque type of creativity for writing a story. So I enjoy that. Great show. I've only seen, I think 3 episodes are out right now. But like visually it's great. Directed by Ben Stiller, which is crazy. Like it's the cinematography and the way shots are filmed and just the look of this show is amazing. Like Ben Stiller, home run, knocked it out of the park, 100%. Like just nailed the sweets. It's just perfect. Performances are great. The premise is great. So, especially for somebody that, like, I mean, which I'm sure anybody could relate to, just working at a job and just, I don't know, there's aspects of it when processed through the rules of the show kind of add clarity to how truly fucked up our lives are. Join Inspired Disorder Plus today. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus to join. Membership includes members-only discounts and deals. You get access to the Ray Taylor Show completely ad-free, as well as bonus episodes. You get access to the complete live painting archive. You also get access to every single podcast ever produced by Inspired Disorder, hosted by Ray Taylor. You get access to Ray Taylor's personal blog, as well as the opportunity to ask me any questions. So if you want to start a podcast, you're into art, ask me anything. And so many more things are being added every day to Inspired Disorder Plus. So sign up today, become a member, head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus and become an Inspired Disorder Plus member today. Oh, yeah. And of course, so kind of the highlight or low light, the most dramatic thing that happened was I made some tacos, right? I've been making taco stuff off and on for like kind of just trying to figure out different ways to make it, different things to add into it. Just basic stuff, ground turkey, taco seasoning, chop up a bell pepper, chop up a potato, chop up onions, throw that in there, add some spices, extra spices to it. Really doing it up, trying to zhuzh it up as much as possible. And adding some black beans to it. Just trying to make basically this slop that I can put in a tortilla, spread some cheese on it, put some lettuce, some sour cream. So I don't have to go to like Taco Bell, just make a bucket of slop, which is going to be at a much higher quality and better types of things than you would get at a Taco Bell in this slop. But then you're getting, it's perfect. It's like way better and super easy. So I've been doing that because it's just like something super easy I can eat while I'm working and I have to think about doing stuff. I've also been trying to build up this tuna salad thing, which my most recent one was amazing. It was like I'm going to be living on tuna. I'm trying to come up with a couple easy kind of meals that I can make that are just kind of almost feel like snacking, just like so I can eat a little bit here and there when I'm hungry, but not like making actual big meals. Just trying to change my diet up a little bit slowly. So anyway, I made these tacos. I put these black beans in, which, black beans are great. High in fiber, high in protein, I think, as well. But they also make you fart a lot. So I've been farting a lot. Specifically, so I made all these tacos. I think it was was it Wednesday morning or Thursday morning? Like Wednesday night, I was farting so much. And there's a worry that happens when you fart a lot, when you're farting a lot, because it's like at some point the other material inside of your intestines is assumingly getting closer and closer to the end of that tunnel. And all these farts are just, it's honking for right away, just trying to wait for its time to get out. And sometimes farts can feel a little, maybe they don't feel always as dry, right? Sometimes there's some humid air that comes out of your farts, right? But when you're sleeping, you're just kind of farting. It's coming, and like, I think a lot of times, at least in my experience, I wake up to fart. It's a weird thing. Like, I am conscious of my farts, as I'm sure I'm farting also while I'm sleeping and dreaming of whatever it is I'm dreaming. But it seems like I wake up a lot to witness my farts while I'm sleeping. Or every time I wake up to move or something, I also fart. But it was happening a lot. I woke up the next morning and it's been cold, so I have electric blanket going while I'm sleeping to make sure I'm nice and warm and cozy, because I sleep so good when I'm nice and warm and cozy. But sometimes because I got the electric blanket, it's a little bit too warm and I get a little sweaty, right? So my undercarriage area was moist, right? And I wake up, and what I do, because I help out around the house, is that a couple days a week, I drive my roommate's kid to school in the morning. So I get up early, which is whatever. So I get up early this one morning. I'm not sure if it was like a Wednesday or Thursday, one of those 2 days. I almost want to say it was Wednesday. No, it could have been Thursday. I'm just trying to think of, or maybe it was Friday. Easily could have been either one of those days. Doesn't really make any sense. Doesn't really matter. But I woke up early, had a little bit of moisture in my thing, so I put some baby powder on it, right? Just to help smooth things out, because it's like cold. I'm not going to be sweating. It's just I had the electric blanket up too hot. Izzy was sleeping next to me. It was just a little bit too toasty. Walk Izzy like I normally do. But then I'm going to, so I go get the kid in the car, and I like sit in the car, and I get this waft of smell, right? I sit down in the car, I get this waft of smell. And it smells like a baby's diaper full of shit. It's what it smells like. Now, I know what the baby powder part of that scent mixture comes from, because I put the powder on the moist testicular groinal area that needed it, just to freshen up in the morning. But the addition of the massive shit smell was something that I did not. And let me tell you, shit smells are bad enough. But when it's combined with baby powder, for some reason, there is a toxicity to that smell that is piercing. And I'm driving this kid to school, and I keep smelling this smell. And the whole time I'm like thinking of the night I had where I was just farting, all the black bean tacos, so many farts. I'm like, maybe there was some extra moisture to those farts. Maybe there was some extra content to that concert of methane that I produced the night before. Right? Maybe there was, because sometimes, you don't necessarily shit your pants, but you'll have some wet farts, and it's like, it's not good, but it's not as bad as shitting yourself. So I was like, maybe that was part of the moisture. Maybe it wasn't the electric blanket. Maybe it was the black beans I added to the tacos. The combination of black beans and my taco slop. Maybe it was like stinky moisture back there. Butt moisture. Butthole drool. But it smelled bad, man. So it's like, it couldn't, like, that's happened, sure. Does it smell? Yeah, sure. But like, only if you have to like smell it, right? Like, if you have like a wet fart or whatever, a moist fart, you have to like have your face up on the underwear or whatever it is that you fart into. For the connoisseurs that know what I'm talking about, like, you got to get up in it to smell it. And this is just wafting. It smells like I shit my pants. Thankfully, my friend's kid, he's not saying anything. Maybe he thought it was him. But it smelled like I had a pant full of poo that I covered up with baby powder. And I'm even like, as I'm driving, I'm like I'm trying to focus my energy on the nerve endings of my butt region to see if I can feel any evidence of a solid or liquid situation. Like, did I shit myself? Like, I'm imagining, like, shit came out while I was sleeping and it just, like, stuck to my underwear. And just for whatever reason, I didn't feel it. Like, you would feel it. But I was questioning myself because of my nose. My nose was like, there is a situation here. Like, you messed up, Ray. My nose is like, you completely shit yourself. Somehow you didn't feel it while you were on the walk with your dog. It wasn't like when you put the baby powder on, there was no situation. Like, your hand didn't come up covered in, like, you know, frosted poo nuggets. But my nose is like, there is a conspiracy. My nose is like Alex Jones. And, like, every part of me is like, what is going on? I need to get home to clean up this situation. Like, clearly I had one of the most disgusting wet farts known to man. So I drop him off. I roll the window down, which it actually made it worse. There was like a siphon thing. It brought more of the smell. It was not good. It smelled like I was shitting myself actively at the moment, which I wasn't doing. I got home. Immediately, as soon as I got home, took off my pants. I smelled the ass end of my pants. I was wearing track pants. Put my nose up. I got up in it. The area you need to get to when you have wet farts and there's a smell. And I'm like, I guess, like, it just smells like kind of like I farted a few times, or like it is very faint. This was not the assault on my nostrils that I had. So I was like, okay, so it didn't leak through my pants. I guess it's still in my boxers. So it's like I took off the boxers, threw everything in the hamper. I got like a towel. I'm just wiping everything. I'm smelling the towel. I'm like I'm not getting anything anywhere. There's like nothing. I use a bidet. So it's not like I'm expecting to have like brown streaks, but I'm also expecting to see brown streaks because that is what my nose is telling me. Like, everything in reality is pointing to there is no shit in or around my butt area. But my nose is unwilling to give up the situation, is unwilling to, like, let it go. I was going crazy. I'm smelling shit, but I cannot find it. Where is the shit? So I clean up everything, baby wipes. I like do it all, like throw, like I'm like, what is going on? I put on new clothes. I'm like, well, at least I'm like, it's the situation's cleaned up. Like, I'm cleaned up there, so I know there's not going to be whatever shit there was disappeared. And I cleaned it. I have clean clothes on. I'm good. Everything's like whatever it was, I'm going to leave it behind me. It's just going to get washed, whatever it is. I don't know what it is, this phantom shit. And I can't smell it anymore. Put on fresh clothes. I go to sit down on my bed. I forget why I was sitting down on my bed. Putting my shoes on. I think I just put my shoes on. I sat down. Like, I put some sweatpants on just so I could be comfortable for the day. I sat down to put my shoes back on for whatever reason. I think I was actually going to go put my shoes on to walk inside to go further examine my situation. But anyway, I sit down. I put my shoes on. I'm just kind of sitting there perplexed. I'm like, what is going on? What was this smell? And I'm thinking, it's like, for sure my friend smelled it. For sure her kid smelled it. You couldn't not smell it. To them, I shit my pants completely fully. and drove in her car to go drop her kid off with pants full of shit. That's what it smelled like to both of them. And to me. And it just disappeared. What is this smell? And then I get a whiff of it again. I'm like, what is going on? I just changed. I cleaned up everything. I look down, and Izzy is like gnawing something off of my shoe. And I look, and my shoe is covered with shit. You know, the fucking tacos. The whole time, it's the tacos, man. It's the black beans and the tacos, all the farting I did the night before. Of course I shit myself. It is the most likely situation that I shit myself. It makes the most sense. It smells like I shit myself. It's the perfect situation of shitting yourself, like things, variables that need to come together all at once. It's the Avengers of events that need to all coincide to like somehow shit yourself while you're sleeping and not know it until you're driving somebody to their school. But no, it was shit on my shoe. And I didn't even know where I stepped in shit. It had to have been obviously when I walked my dog. But like I'm on concrete. I'm on a street. I'm not like, there's no shit in the areas I'm walking. And like, if I like walked on the grass to go pick up my dog's shit, I would have seen the shit. Unless maybe it was shit that I stepped in the night before, but I still would have smelled the dog shit. Throughout the night, I would have smelled it. I would have smelled it. So it had to have been that morning. But it didn't leave shit anywhere. It was just, so it had to have been the first thing I did when I took my dog for a walk was step in some shit, and then I went on the walk, and most of it kind of just compacted in the tread of my shoe, you know, so it wasn't like fresh, wet, but it stunk. It stunk. So I had to hose off my shoes. But at least and Izzy was eating shit. But she is a dog. She's done that on occasion. Disgusting. So disgusting. But she found the culprit. Shit in my shoe. Did not even think about it. I was convincing myself that I had shit myself more so than the idea maybe I just stepped in some shit. No, Ray, you couldn't have stepped in shit. You had to have shit yourself. And you had to have shit yourself and convinced, like, despite the fact there's no evidence of you shitting yourself. You're, like, in so much denial that it could be any other thing, that it had to have been the shit from your own butthole. But that's what happens when you spend all night farting. And you're in your 40s, and you're concerned because you know you've shit yourself. It's, like, so much more common now. So that also happened this week. Hope everybody else had a great week. Yeah. Till next week. Just check your shoes. Maybe you didn't shit yourself.
New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.